So now we are gonna work through a main purpose question. In this kind of question, as you guys know, we are gonna identify what the passage as a whole is doing, not a detail, not just the first sentence, but the overall goal. Now, let's first try to read the passage. The passage says, in 2016, Ana Filipa Lopes and colleagues published a study concluding that ocean acidification has a strong effect on the behavior of AP, a species of fish. However, researchers relied on a mean sample size of only 15 fish. Okay, in a 2020 review of various scientists' conclusions about the impacts of ocean acidification on fish behavior, other researchers cautioned that relying on such a relatively small sample size can increase the potential for biased analysis. Such analysis, in turn, can contribute to the reports of exaggerated effects. Okay, so the passage basically is describing that we have one study in the beginning of the passage, okay, but the problem with the study is that it only relied on only about 15 fish. But in 2020 review of various scientists' conclusions, the second team researchers cautioned that relying on such a small sample size can increase the potential for biased analysis. So basically we have one study here which has a drawback of relying only on 15 fish, and we have the second team researchers who caution that this kind of small sample size can be actually potential for biased analysis. Now we are talking about the negatives of the first team researchers study actually. So this is our main purpose here. Now with that in mind, let's look at the answer choices. Answer choice A says to discuss an aspect of ocean acidification that is frequently overlooked. We are not talking about the ocean acidification at all. We are just talking about the effects. Not effects. The caution that the second team researchers are saying about the first team researchers' research. So ocean acidification is not a problem, and there is nothing that is frequently overlooked of the ocean acidification. So that's why we don't know if there is something that is overlooked. So we can cross out choice A. Now choice B. Choice B says to note a potential concern about the findings of a scientific study. It kinda close because we are talking about the second team researchers are expressing concern here. They are saying that relying on such a small sample size can be negative. It can lead to biased analysis. So yeah, it is kind of close because we are talking about the drawback of the first team researchers study. So B is close. Now choice C, to present a debate between two research teams about the cause of ocean acidification. We are not, in the text, we are not talking about a debate at all. Have you ever seen a debate here? Not at all. We just have one team whose research has a drawback, and the second team who is cautioning us that it can be, the drawback of the first team researchers can be actually negative. So we are not talking about a debate, and so that's why choice C is out here. Now choice D, to explain how the behavior of fish species has changed over time. So I have a question here. Did we talk about the behavior of fish? There is, in the entire passage, there is nothing about the behavior of fish. Literally nothing. So that's why we can cross out choice D too. Now the only option is choice B. This is our answer choice. And another thing that I want you to notice, guys, is that as you can see, I'm just reading this by their first letters actually. I mean, the reason is, I mean, it is kinda hard, extremely hard to pronounce. And this is exactly what SAT wants the students to do. I mean, SAT loves confusing students by giving them this kind of super complex words to pronounce. So my recommendation is, guys, instead of spending time trying to pronounce the word, you should just call it by its first letter and just move on. Because if you just try to pronounce this by its name, I mean, then you can lose your precious time and it can lead to stress. I mean, it can confuse you. So that's why I always recommend you guys just call it by its first letters, and that's it. It'll be fine. So if you are finding this video interesting, please give me a like and a subscription.